Hello and welcome to Red Devils Dugout on the day after the defeat to Manchester City. That's right, Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. I didn't see it going like that. I really didn't see it going like that, I'll be honest. I watching the game, the first 10 minutes, I was very, very happy. You know, we came into that game and for once we actually looked like we had some kind of intent. You know, first of all, I was just glad it wasn't going to be a snooze fest like the previous game, because the last Manchester United derby that we played against City back in December was 0-0, and it was just, you could tell nobody really wasn't really, you know, looking to kind of push the boat out kind of thing. But this one, you know, within what, a couple of minutes of playing, Kevin De Bruyne had hit the post and you know, John Stones had scored an own goal. So we were looking really good. And then realistically, the second half is just, just didn't get going the way that we could have. And it's a really disappointing result. But probably for me, the most disappointing part of this has got to be the reaction to it. And I totally understand. As a United fan myself, I totally understand where people are coming from. It's not good to see your team lose, but we need to get this culture of just finding someone or something to blame. Like, you can have two teams play each other and one team loses because the other team played better without the other team being totally crap. Like, that can happen, you know. Like, there are only 3 results available to you when you play a game of football. You either win, lose, or draw. And if you win, then the other team loses. Like, you know, not every team you have, if you have 2 great teams and they come up against each other, you're not just going to have a draw every time because of, you know, they're 2 great teams. Like, somebody has to lose sometimes. And this time it was us. Now, I understand that necessarily the manner in which we lost wasn't great. I am very upset that we lost to 2 set pieces. It's been a flaw in our play for a long time. If you go back actually over the last, I can't remember how many games it is, but you know, the 2 goals we conceded to Southampton, and I think the games previous and after that, they either came down to individual mistakes or set pieces. And it's a really poor it's a really poor display on our part, because it's such a, considering we actually have some height in the team, it's a really easy thing to kind of deal with. It's just like our players are not switched on. But let me go over a couple of the topics I've seen flying around online and in other people's videos and whatnot, because I'm trying to make this video much quicker than the others, at least kind of 10-minute mark. So Harry Maguire, this guy gets his head on so many balls, but yet never puts the ball in the back of the net. Just never. Every corner we look for him, every corner we find him, every corner the ball goes wide. Really frustrating. He does need to get those numbers up, or at least find a way to put the ball back into a threatening area. It's quite disappointing. I'll be honest. And I think he was partly culpable for the goal as well. He did have a part to play in being able to get it clear, and but I mean, so did a lot of people. Speaking of the goal, Scott McTominay, it's a stupid foul to give away. It's really unnecessary. It's in a position of danger, and like I said, if I can look at the team sheet, if I can look at the games that we've played and identify set pieces as an area of weakness for United, then I'm damn sure that Scott McTominay also knows that set pieces are an area of weakness for Man United. The club would have identified it. Why we haven't dealt with it, I don't know. But my point is as a player on the pitch, something both him and Fred are culpable at, I'll be honest. But in this situation, it's Scott McTominay. You have to not give away silly fouls. You know, he wasn't going anywhere. There wasn't really any need to drag him back. It is what it is. So you live and you learn. I've seen a lot of criticism going towards Martial. And as somebody who's been rather vocal Martial defender in the past, I don't really understand what people's issue is with Martial in this particular game. I didn't think he did particularly bad. the dive for the penalty, it just kind of is what it is, really. If you don't go down, you don't get penalties. It's not necessarily saying that if you do go down, you will get a penalty. But in our previous game, Luke Shaw burst into the box and he didn't go down under a challenge that would definitely have been a penalty if he had, and we got nothing. So am I going to berate him for taking a chance and going down? No, absolutely not. Even if he'd have got booked, I'd have been like, there you go. You know why? Because go back and look at who has won a vast majority of all of our penalties, and you'll notice it's Anthony Martial. The way he plays lends itself to that kind of style. He tries to dribble past people, they try and get the ball, they miss, he goes down. I'm not gonna have a, I'm not gonna throw a fit because the guy went down once. And honestly, I don't think he really did particularly badly. I think what everybody's issue with him is obviously he's not scored a lot, and totally get that, but he's a certain kind of striker who plays in a certain kind of way, and unfortunately our play is not set up for that kind of person. Could he play as a left winger? Of course he could, but Rashford's playing as a left winger, so in order to fit all of these people in your team, somebody has to suffer for it. Somebody has to go somewhere. Now, in this game, we either played, I can't remember if it was precisely a diamond. It looked to me like a 4-2-3-1. That's what Sky Sports had it as, with Pogba on the left, who I actually think was not bad. We tracked back. He's more of an advanced playmaker than he is an inside forward. But, he tracked back. He got on the ball a lot. And, yeah, I think he was decent. It was good to see him in an advanced area where we're not relying on him for defending too much, but he can also track back when he needs to. So that, to me, rather reassuring. But my point on Martial is just that, when we have a forward like Cavani or Igalo, they're the kind of player who's kind of will play back to goal in between the half spaces. They're not rapid. Not to say they can't run. Everybody on a football pitch can run, but they're not rapid. Not in the same way that Tony Martial and Marcus Rashford are. And, they kind of just sit there and wait for the ball to come to them, hold it up, maybe get a shot off from wherever it is. And that's kind of how they play. Whereas Martial is very much kind of direct, link up, 1-2s. And it suits the fact that Greenwood, Rashford, Bruno kind of all want to play like that. The issue is that we're not good at playing like that. When, you've seen some of our plays sometimes, even in the last couple of games. I think there was, I can't remember if it was against Villa or the game after that. Game after that is this game. I can't remember which game it was, but we had, a period of play that was just so beautiful, just, passes and link up and just working our way to the goal and finally getting a shot off. We can do that, but we don't do it. We don't do it week in, week out. You look at all the other top strikers, if you look at Aguero, if you look at Kane, Son, you look at even Firmino, the teams are set up in ways so they can do what they're best at and help the rest of the team out. Our team is not set up like that. Not for Rashford, not for Martial. Rashford scores because of the fact that he's in a position where he's not, where he's on the left, and if we had a decent right winger who had a strong left foot, I believe they would also contribute with the same amount of goals playing there. Because Martial, when you look at the ball, look at crosses. Crosses are a prime example. Every time we cross the ball and you look at us in the box, and I wish I had a picture so I could put it up, you'll see nobody in there. Absolutely nobody. I think yesterday we whipped in a really good cross and it just went past everybody because we never gamble to go in the box. So there's never anybody to challenge it. There's Martial and then there's like 6 other players from the other team. He's isolated there and he's looking to get balls over the top behind the defense or have a link-up play, and we just don't play that way for him. So anyway, that's my point on Martial. People crying for him to be sold and whatnot, just pipe down. It doesn't. It's silly. Same with the whole Ollie situation. Ollie has lost 4 semi-finals now, but you're taking that in isolation. You need to look at each of the games. That Chelsea game we played, terrible. Okay, yeah, we went out to, in the League Cup the last season before to City. It wasn't great. We are making progress. as a team. You can't look at this and say we're not making progress. There are still people that need to be shipped out. Like I said in my last video, there are still people that need to be brought in. Diallo was just signed, you know, great. Somebody who can play on the right now. But we can't look at this and be like, oh, wow, the whole world is burning down now. Everything's going into crap. Let's just get rid of everyone. It's one semi-final defeat. And like I said, we will get better from this. You know, getting to a semi-final is still a good achievement, and we had a much harder run than Tottenham did. I think people just need to kind of take it with a pinch of salt, and, you know, we live and we learn. If we go on now and we beat Watford and we beat Burnley and we beat Liverpool, and then I think it's Sheffield United. I'm saying if we win those next 4 games, you know, we're sitting pretty and we're looking like a really good team. So don't let it get you down. Don't dwell on it for too long. It wasn't a great result, but we'll come back from this. We're still in a really strong position. You know, we've still got the Europa League and the Premiership. Premiership? Hasn't been called the Premiership in a while. And the Premier League that we're challenging for. FA Cup still in there. So, you know, realistically, we wanted to win the League Cup because it's a trophy, not necessarily because we wanted to win the League Cup. And yes, I'm not going to lie, I'm upset that we didn't do better. I'm upset that we didn't do ourselves justice on the day. But what can you do? We'll live and we'll learn, and hopefully we'll see some real improvement going forwards. That's going to be it for me. So thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one for Watford on Saturday, I think. I think it's Saturday. But yeah, catch you then.